Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's going on? I'm Dr. Matthew Tonthat. I am a urologist, and I am today here to talk about the origin behind the name of this channel, Hoop Jumper, MD, MBA, MPH. And I basically named it after all the hoops I've had to jump through to get all these degrees, to get into medical school, become a physician, get into urology residency, become a urologist, become board certified in urology. And I jumped through all sorts of hoops to get to where I am. And I continue to jump through hoops in order to pursue those things that I deem worth pursuing. I've also realized that I have a choice over which hoops I jump through, and I don't have to jump through every hoop. Then let's say I execute perfectly and I make it through the target hoop, and then I win, right? Game over, happily ever after? Not exactly, because then the next hoop appears. And then as soon as you go through that one, the next hoop appears, and so on. So it's important to understand that the hoop is not the solution or the end. It is the path and the process that can help get us to where we want to go, or at least in the direction. And that is where there's value in hoop jumping. You have the freedom to choose your hoops. This gives you a choice in the direction your life can go, and that can be very empowering and liberating because not all hoops are worth the squeeze. And each hoop is an exercise. You learn how to approach a target, you learn how to set your own goals or hoop, and you can plan how to get there. You can take steps towards it, and you learn how to learn. And that's really a meta skill to know, to learn how to learn and to become better at learning. You gain resilience by jumping through hoops, in that you learn how to fail, how to deal with failure, which is always going to happen. And it's never going to be fun. You're never going to prefer to fail over success, but it's going to happen. And the better you are able to roll with it, the lighter it is. And the lighter it is, the better you set yourself up to learn from the failures. And then you gain more and more of a win or learn mindset, as opposed to a mindset where you're kind of afraid to lose or afraid to fail. In my experience, not the best formula for success. You also get a sense of fun and adventure from jumping through hoops. It is a quest, it's an adventure. It's challenging and frustrating. That's also the fun in it. And it doesn't have to be all serious and drab. In the process, you'll also have to interact with the world and with other people. This keeps you connected to humanity, even in its less desirable states and forms. And this connection with the world around us, with other humans, is the basis for compassion, fulfillment, and progress. Now for the principles of hoop jumping. The first one is to know which hoops are worth jumping through and which are not. Some hoops are too small, too high. Some hoops do not lead to where I want to go. Some hoops are just not worth the effort or the risk. When I do see that it's worth the squeeze and I do see that it's helping me get to where I go for it. I jump through them. I send it. The second principle is that the hoop is not the solution, because the hoops never end. There will be no arrival. You're never going to make it. It's never going to be over. As soon as you jump through this hoop, another hoop will appear. And in my example, I wanted so badly to get into medical school. And then I got in. And then maybe I had like a short period where I felt like I made it and I was fulfilled. Then you get used to that new baseline, and then the new hoop appears. And when I was in medical school, that is, preparation for the next stage of training, which is residency. So I have to study to do well on the exams, take more standardized exams, do more applications, write more personal statements, just like I did to get into medical school. And now all of a sudden, even though I achieved what I wanted so badly, I still did not feel like I was done or I could cruise or that I had arrived. And then even after that, then I get into residency. Now I have to get through that. There's another hoop. And then there's the board certification. And now finally, I'm working as a urologist. I'm an attending urologist, and I've made it, right? It sure does not feel like I'm done. Our healthcare system is broken and exploitative, and I feel complicit in this simply for practicing urology. There does appear, and there appears, the next hoop, which is the birthplace of this channel, Hoop Jumper, MD, MBA, MPH. This isn't bad that there's another hoop. The hoops never end. This is kind of what I see as the empty nature of achievement. It's okay. It's all good, because it's not about the achievement. It's about kind of the road there and everything I learned along the way. The secret to being able to continue to jump through hoops and at the same time be content with where I am is to hold paradox. On the one hand, I will never be satisfied, in that there's always going to be another hoop. There's always more to learn. There's always room for growth. On the other hand, despite all my flaws, my failures, my insecurities, I am right where I'm supposed to be right now. The hoop is not the solution. I don't think there's an absolute answer to any of these questions. Hoop is the way forward towards the solution, which is more a process than an end. Now you know that you don't need to achieve something in order to have worth or value. You can keep jumping through hoops, but you don't have to. So you can have hoops you want to go jump through, you can have places you want to be, and you can also know that you're exactly where you are supposed to be right now. And that means that you don't need to achieve something in order to have worth or value. And that means that you got nothing to lose. You can keep jumping through hoops, but you don't have to. And it becomes less of a task or a grind and more of playing around, more of flow. And over time, you get better at jumping through them. You get better at assessing and reading the hoops. You become wise and you're wasting less time on hoops that are impractical or that are not aligned with your life, your goals. And in the process of jumping through hoops, there is so much value. You learn how to chart and choose your path. You learn how to prepare. You learn how to take action. You learn how to fail. You learn how to learn. You learn how the world works. You learn how you work. That is beautiful. I challenge you to ask yourself, what hoops are you trying to jump through right now? And then when you look at that hoop, is it something that is going to help get you to where you want to be? If not, then why are you trying to jump through them? It's food for thought. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much.